High blood pressure is one of the most common and dangerous health conditions in the world today. More than 122 million adults are currently living with hypertension, and nearly half of all adults are affected in some way. What makes this condition especially dangerous is that most people do not even realize they have it. High blood pressure rarely causes pain or obvious symptoms in its early stages, yet it slowly damages the body over time. It increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, kidney disease, and many other serious health complications. That is why it is often called the silent killer. Most people grow up hearing the same advice about blood pressure: cut down on salt, avoid sodium, and eat healthier foods. While this advice is important, the reality is far more complex. Salt alone does not explain why so many people continue to struggle with hypertension. If sodium were the only issue, millions of people would not still be dealing with uncontrolled blood pressure despite being aware of the problem. The truth is that high blood pressure is influenced by many different factors, including sleep, stress, physical activity, metabolic health, diet quality, and even emotional experiences from earlier in life. Understanding these hidden causes is important because it changes the way we think about health and gives us better tools to prevent and manage hypertension naturally. To understand why blood pressure becomes dangerous, it is helpful to first understand what blood pressure actually is. Every time the heart beats, it pushes blood through the arteries. Blood pressure refers to the force of blood pressing against the walls of those arteries. It is usually written as two numbers, such as 120/80. The top number, called systolic pressure, measures the pressure when the heart contracts and pumps blood. The bottom number, called diastolic pressure, measures the pressure when the heart relaxes between beats. A normal reading is generally around 120/80. When blood pressure consistently rises to 130/80 or higher, it is considered hypertension. Over time, high pressure damages blood vessels, stiffens arteries, and forces the heart to work harder. This constant strain gradually harms the entire cardiovascular system. The biggest problem is that many people feel completely normal while this damage is happening silently inside their bodies. One of the most overlooked causes of high blood pressure is the imbalance between sodium and potassium. Most people only hear about reducing salt intake, but the relationship between sodium and blood pressure is more complicated than that. Some individuals are more sensitive to salt than others. Researchers call this salt sensitivity. In these people, consuming excess sodium can cause a noticeable increase in blood pressure, while others may not experience the same effect. Genetics, age, kidney health, diabetes, and metabolic conditions all influence how sensitive a person is to sodium. However, the bigger issue for many people is not just excess sodium, but a lack of potassium. Modern diets are often extremely high in sodium and very low in potassium-rich foods. Potassium is essential because it helps the body remove excess sodium through urine and relaxes the walls of blood vessels. Without enough potassium, sodium has a stronger and more harmful effect on blood pressure. Many processed foods contain huge amounts of sodium while offering almost no potassium. Fast food, packaged snacks, frozen meals, canned soups, and processed meats all contribute to this imbalance. Instead of focusing only on reducing salt, increasing potassium intake through whole foods can significantly improve blood pressure regulation. Foods such as leafy greens, bananas, beans, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, avocados, and oranges are rich in potassium and help support healthier blood vessels and circulation. Another major but often hidden cause of high blood pressure is sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. Many people who have sleep apnea do not realize they have it because the interruptions happen while they are asleep. Each time breathing pauses, oxygen levels in the body drop. The brain interprets this as an emergency and activates the body's stress response. Heart rate increases, blood vessels constrict, and blood pressure spikes. Now imagine this happening not once, but dozens or even hundreds of times every night. Over months and years, this repeated stress puts enormous strain on the cardiovascular system. Sleep apnea is strongly associated with chronic hypertension because the body never fully rests during sleep. Common signs of sleep apnea include loud snoring, waking up exhausted despite sleeping for many hours, morning headaches, daytime fatigue, and gasping or choking during sleep. Many people dismiss these symptoms or assume they are normal, but untreated sleep apnea can significantly damage long-term health. The encouraging news is that sleep apnea is treatable. Weight loss, lifestyle changes, sleep position adjustments, CPAP machines, and other therapies can dramatically improve both sleep quality and blood pressure levels. Stress is another powerful driver of hypertension. Most people think of stress as something emotional, but stress creates real physical changes inside the body. When a person experiences stress, the nervous system activates the fight or flight response. The heart beats faster, blood vessels tighten, breathing becomes quicker, and stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline flood the body. In short bursts, this response is useful because it helps humans react to danger. However, modern stress is often constant. Financial worries, work pressure, family responsibilities, social isolation, anxiety, and constant digital stimulation can keep the body in a permanent state of alertness. When stress becomes chronic, the body never fully relaxes. Blood vessels remain tighter, stress hormones stay elevated, and the heart continues working harder than it should. Over time, this constant strain contributes directly to high blood pressure. The effects of stress can go even deeper. Research shows that childhood trauma, abuse, neglect, or prolonged emotional stress can permanently affect the body's stress response system. People who experience trauma early in life may become more sensitive to stress as adults. Their nervous systems can remain hyper-alert for years, increasing the risk of hypertension and other chronic illnesses later in life. This is important because it shows that high blood pressure is not simply about willpower or discipline. Emotional experiences and mental health can have profound effects on physical health. Managing stress through healthy coping strategies can therefore improve blood pressure as well as overall well-being. Practices such as meditation, deep breathing, counseling, physical activity, social support, and mindfulness can help calm the nervous system and reduce the burden on the cardiovascular system. A sedentary lifestyle is another major contributor to hypertension. Modern life encourages people to sit for long periods of time. Many jobs involve sitting at desks all day, and entertainment often revolves around phones, computers, and television. However, the human body was designed to move regularly. When people are inactive, the heart becomes less efficient, blood circulation slows, and blood vessels lose flexibility. These changes increase strain on the cardiovascular system and raise blood pressure over time. Inactivity also contributes to weight gain and metabolic problems, which further increase the risk of hypertension. The good news is that exercise does not need to be extreme to make a difference. Even moderate activity can significantly improve blood pressure. Replacing just 30 minutes of sitting with activities like brisk walking, cycling, dancing, gardening, or swimming can strengthen the heart and improve circulation. Physical activity also helps reduce stress hormones, improve sleep quality, and support healthier metabolism. Consistency matters more than intensity. Small daily movements performed regularly can create major health benefits over time. Exercise should not be viewed as punishment, but as one of the most powerful and accessible tools for improving long-term cardiovascular health. Another hidden factor behind high blood pressure is insulin resistance and poor metabolic health. Insulin is a hormone that helps move glucose from the bloodstream into cells for energy. In insulin resistance, the body's cells stop responding properly to insulin, forcing the body to produce more of it. High insulin levels affect much more than blood sugar. They also increase sodium retention, stimulate the nervous system, promote inflammation, and affect blood vessel function. All of these changes contribute to rising blood pressure. Insulin resistance is closely linked to excess abdominal fat, poor diet, lack of exercise, stress, and sleep deprivation. It is also strongly connected to conditions such as obesity, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, and cardiovascular disease. This is why blood pressure should not be viewed only as a heart issue. It is also deeply connected to metabolic health. Improving metabolism through better nutrition, exercise, sleep, and weight management can have a major impact on hypertension. Whole foods, regular movement, reduced sugar intake, and healthy lifestyle habits all help restore insulin sensitivity and support healthier blood pressure. Sleep quality itself also plays a major role in cardiovascular health. Even people who do not have sleep apnea can experience higher blood pressure if they consistently get poor sleep. Sleep is when the body repairs itself. During healthy sleep, heart rate slows, blood vessels relax, and hormones rebalance. When sleep is disrupted or shortened, these restorative processes do not happen properly,